A beautiful afternoon, Sanbonani, and thank you for choosing to spend this 1 hour with us. We are here at Ezulwini, a beautiful, wonderful Friday. The sun is out, it's bright, it's yellow. I'm not sure where you are joining us from, but from wherever you are, you could be hustling in between two classes, it could be your lunch break, you could be fetching the kids from school, but from wherever you are joining us, thank you for spending your 1 hour chatting with Wandile. Wandile, can I give you an opportunity to greet the people that are joining us, I believe on Facebook and on YouTube?
Okay. Thank you very much, Tiniwe. Yellow, and good afternoon to our customers, to those that are joining us live today. It is really an honor for us, Tiniwe, today, this afternoon, to spend time with our customers. I know it has been a long time since we've had this engagement, but I think today we just want to spend an hour engaging with our customers and also updating them on where we are as a brand, as MTN.
Thank you so much, Wandile. We also have Mbongwa Dube that is interpreting to sign language. And congratulations, MTN Eswatini, for truly embracing diversity on the Isisonke campaign. So to our viewers joining us, so we ran for a week, CEO, inviting people to join us, but we also gave them a WhatsApp number on which they could send questions. So we received questions. We're going to be going through those questions. But let's allow the viewers that are joining us and watching us now on the comments line, feel free to pop in your questions. We will randomly pick questions from there. And as you do, keep your eyes peeled because we're also going to be asking random questions and you stand a chance of winning yourself data. So please stay with us. It's going to be a beautiful 1 hour session with Wandile. So one of the interesting comments, Wandile, that I want to start with was from Tando William Hilton. So Tando wrote, it was just 4 words. Will you read our comments? So Tando, we are dedicating this whole 1 hour to you because we will read possibly as many comments as we can, and Wandile will attempt to answer as many as we can. And for those that we cannot answer during the 1 hour, trust you us, we will reach out to you and answer your questions.
I think also the questions that will come after the show, I think we'll certainly continue to address those questions.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
We even took some of the customers' numbers because some of them were wanting to give us their numbers, but we appreciate those that said, no, I don't want to mention my name, but all the same, we will go through all the questions as many as we can. So Wandile, the best place to start from a customer's perspective, I mean, I'm looking behind me and all around me, and we are wearing a new looking like color logo. So please talk to the brand refresh. And I think from a customer perspective, we've seen you celebrate, we've seen you mention it, but what does it mean to me as a customer? What are we doing today?
Okay. MTN Group Ambition 2025 strategy, it is aimed at leading in the digital platforms for Africa's progress. And I think that is where we start off from. And this has actually ushered in a new look of MTN, where we are now aligning MTN, evolving MTN from being a telecommunications company provider into a technology company into the future. So that's where it all starts from. And so I think this new positioning basically translates to a evolution of MTN. And we are now associating ourselves and building this very strong platform business across the African continent. And I think, anyway, this repositioning of the brand as well has brought in a message that is provocative to customers, but also simple. And it says, what are we doing today? It is provocative in the sense that it means everyone who is associated with MTN must ask themselves this question, what are we doing today? We as a brand today, we are saying we are now evolving ourselves into a technology company. We are focusing towards building a strong platform business for Africa's progress. And so everything that we do going forward up to 2025 will be aligned towards this particular ambition and this strategy that we are forcing today.
So it's okay then, Wandile, when we are walking around the street to ask each other, what are you doing today? Because with the platform and the offerings and the services that MTN gives, the thought is that we enable you to be able to do what you want to do today. So it then makes sense to then quickly go to Lihle Siyabonga's question, because it means Siyabonga understands what we are as a brand, because he then says, can you talk to me about your 4G and your 5G rollout then? If you're saying you are moving into a platform business, surely your network must be the best in terms of expansion and stability.
But perhaps let me start off from the basics of where we are as MTN today in Eswatini. Today we provide 2G coverage, which is predominantly used for voice services. Today we provide 3G services, which is mainly used for both voice and a bit of data. And we also provide LTE or 4G network coverage in the kingdom. Today we have just over 460 base stations that are spread across the country. And these are located in areas where we've got population, we've got people that are either dwelling there or their businesses around there. There's places of entertainment and everything else around sporting events, etc., etc. We are doing that so that eMaswati across this country have got access to our platforms, have got access to digital services, have got access to voice and data services. So we've really done, I think, a lot as MTN over the past 23 years. And I think, again, we continue every year to invest a lot of money into expanding this network. We're now talking about what is it that we're doing today with regards to 5G. As MTN, I'm sure in the next few months, which is at a planning stage right now, we're looking at rolling out 5G in the Kingdom of Eswatini, which is going to be really the first thing that we're proud ourselves to be able to achieve. So really, we are doing a lot around making sure that our customers, first of all, have got the best network experience in the Kingdom. And secondly, to make sure that our products and services are available throughout the country. And that is why we expand in the network, because for customers to be able to use our services, we need to be able to connect them up into a network.
Okay, so Lihle, if you are still interested, because actually Lihle asked for a map.
Yes.
So I'm tempted to believe that Lihle is possibly studying and something to do with technology or networks. So Lihle, thank you for that question.
I think in terms of maybe in numbers, because we don't have the map currently. If you look at our 2G and 3G coverage today, we're looking at about 97% population coverage, which means we cover almost every corner of the kingdom throughout. Shisoleni, Manzini, Lubombo, we are there, and we are making sure that eMaswati are connected. In terms of the LTE network coverage, it's still slightly less. We are sitting at just over 70% of the population today are covered through the LTE network. Again, that is where our focus is today going forward, that we need to expand on the LTE, because it will provide digital platforms for all eMaswati, to provide connectivity to schools, to everyone that needs, even businesses that need connectivity using the data services that are provided by MTN. So really it is something that we invest a lot every year to make sure that we have the best network and the best experience for our customers.
No, thank you. Thank you so much, Wandile. From a network perspective, it looks like we are doing much. Now, the next question from Tekaya. So let me just read it as it is. She says, if the company you worked for, in this instance it's MTN, was doing something unethical or illegal, what would you do, Wandile?
Okay, thank you very much. I think to answer the question, within MTN, we've got policies that speak to unethical behaviors. We've got an ethical policy, and that this is calculated throughout the business to our staff, to our directors, management, and executive. Everyone is actually underpinned by this particular important policy within MTN. And so if there is any unethical behavior that either our customers see or even internally, it is something that should be reported and it is taken seriously. We do have a tip-off line for customers and for anyone in the public that see anything that is going wrong within MTN. And our customers must feel free to speak to that anonymous tip-off line. And then we at MTN, and through our partners as well, will then address those unethical behaviors. But definitely it is not something that we will entertain in MTN. We make sure that we address those and make sure that those that are seen to have any unethical behavior, we take them to book and we take them to task. And if it means for us to even take it further towards legal action, we definitely will do that.
Okay. No, I think Tekaya, it's actually wonderful. When I saw the question, I thought, oh wow, that's an interesting question, because many times when we talk to businesses, the aspect of ethics, social responsibility, being responsible citizens as companies is normally overlooked. So we have just one that came in.
Perhaps maybe if it is because
something
Tekaya has seen, I think they must then come up and be able to raise it through the anonymous tip-off line. they can be able to reach us and reach our third parties, and then that particular issue will be dealt with without fail.
No, I hope you got that, Dekaya. Please reach out if there's anything you feel that is unethical that you're seeing. Please speak out on that.
Yes.
I think one of the questions that came on, maybe it's important to ask it now because it talks to eSIM. So, Nati Sihlongo Uti Wandile, hi. When are you planning on enabling eSIM?
Yeah, I think it's a very important question because, you know, our customers today are using devices that require eSIMs. You know, you've got the latest iPhones that need eSIM. You've got the latest Samsung phones, Huawei phones. All of these now, they require eSIMs. We've been going through the process to make sure that eSIM is available. I can almost be certain and confirm to our customers that within the next few months it will be there. We've tested it already in our network. It is working. We just need to then conclude on the commercial agreements, and then we get go live. So it's not it's a matter of a very short period of time when this will be live.
Okay. No, we will hold you accountable.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So kule session letawulandzela lena nje singaqala kulombuto ukuthi sesikuphi iSIM Wandile. Thank you for that question. I think leswabona kulamanye, one is speaking to issue of pricing. So maybe because some of the other questions that came in speak to that, we can take it at that point. Maybe at this point, Wandile, we can just play a short clip. And I think the clip is just really to echo what you were saying about our brand refresh. That personal question was, what am I doing today? What are we doing today? So can we just play that clip shortly, and we will be back to continue with the next series of questions.
One, make you know like the sun. Two, I can make it all about you. Three, you should make it all about me. Give me some of that.
Siyanembukela, siyabonga lokho ukuthi selo nikhona. Siyachubeka sixoxa na Wandile. Sithatha imibuto from our viewers, and we are trying our best to squeeze in as many as we can. So let me not take up too much time because manding lama questions Wandile. Lolandzelako umbuto uthi ubuya ku Terra Yende General. Uthi, when will MTN stop sending us useless instant messages, and how can we opt out? Because you don't even ask, uthi, do we really need these messages? Or not nivele nende matanza nje. Over to you, Wandile.
Thank you, Kiniwe, and thanks to Tara for the question. I think it is a very important question. I'm sure, Kiniwe, yourself and your team have been dealing with similar questions from the contact center perspective. And I think we can start off, you know, from exactly why these messages are being sent to our customers and where they come from. Definitely from an MTN side, we do generate messages. Either that these are marketing messages to our customers to inform them of what we have within our universe of products and services. We do also inform customers about certain notices, such as in the event that maybe our network is down, we want to communicate to our customers. Those are questions that those are messages we send to our customers. We also have third-party platforms and systems where they use our network to broadcast messages. So it is really a very wide range of messages that we deal with. But I think it suffices to say, from where we are at MTN, it is also very important for us to make sure that we are responsible when we send these messages to our customers. So I think the first thing we need to do, and we need to admit to our customers that definitely we've done wrong in the past, and we need to apologize for those messages. Sometimes these messages could be messages that are unsolicited. Customers do not really need those messages, and we've sent them in the past. And so I think we need to be bold and say we are sorry to our customers for doing all of that and for sending those messages that are unsolicited. I think then going forward, we are now putting together systems and platforms where customers will be able to opt in and opt out for these messages. So in any event where you're a customer and you receive a message that probably advertising a particular product, in that message you're going to put in a code where customers can then respond to say, please take me out of these messages. So going to future, any type of messages that is similar to the one that we've sent, then you'll be out and you'll never receive those messages. Because again, remember, customers are not the same. There are customers that still want to know what is happening in MTN. There are customers that want to know what are the new products, what are the new digital systems that we have. And so they still appreciate those messages. So the reason that we're going to have this opt-in and opt-out is purely because we want to make sure that our customers are not bombarded by messages that they do not want to see. And so as soon as you have these messages and as soon as you've received a message and it says opt-out, please do that if you do not want to receive those messages going forward. And I think secondly, we are also engaging the third-party suppliers who are connected to our network. And we are also telling them the same message, that messages cannot be pushed through to a customer without their consent. And so it is important to have that opt-in and opt-out functionality so that when the customer does not need any particular message, they can then be out of it anyway.
Okay. No, I think kuyevakala Wandile, and nako lokusho ukuthi we're a very compliant company, and I think emaswati ayati ukuthi kushicilelo umthetho lomusha nga 2022, the Electronic Communication and Transactions Act levele ikuphocelele lokho. Even though that was not the case, we would still have made sure, because my customer have been speaking to say, can I please be given an option to opt out of this one. So ningahlala nigade njengoba sikhuluma nje imvo levele seyisetshenzwa, because the opt out option has to be given to a customer ethu. Siyabonga Tera for that question. There was another question, Wandile, which is quite interesting. Uthi Nomdobi Futhi Faith, why does it take long for me to win every time I play in your competitions? Bakhona indaba wina go and go win one jan. And I'm assuming ukhuluma ngabo Momo Spin, Bos Magamaka, Call and Win, and even the back to school one that we have.
Yeah, perhaps she has not been able to see some of the communication that we have. We try to have a bigger function where we bring in the customers. We post them on social media, we post them on newspapers, etc., etc. Because we want to celebrate those that have won. But also it is just to show that when customers join our competitions, they do win. Definitely they do win. We do not play around with some of these things, because remember, these competitions are actually approved through some regulatory processes. So we cannot lie to our customers that we run a promotion but no one wins. So we do make it a point that they win, and also we publish that information to our customers as well. So I'm sure maybe one day she'll be a lucky customer that will win one of our competitions.
She must keep trying one day. Bakhona labanjenga mina no matter what. Now kuthiwa nje noma ngithenge Pick n Pay, but ifaka lapha ngivele ngithi angiwini mfana manje. Ngiyitele nhlanhla yokuwina manje futhi I think siyafana. But please keep trying. But lokumcokelela kushoko Wandile lokuthi nathi siyahlolwa. There are people that make sure that we comply, from auditors to regulators and the authorities labasinika lamandla to do what we do. There's a lot of questions coming in that I'm seeing, but I'm thinking the one that makes me want to now move is one that's speaking to pricing, CEO. Because ukhona lo busy uyabutana lwazi ukuthi any plans to reduce Kailami packages. But even Lana Terra sent one at why are your services very expensive, especially data? So that's Terra's question, and I think in alwazi buta yona from a Kailami perspective, leyo home proposition yona stawet design it in yayo.
Yes. I think anyway it's important for us to deal with this issue of pricing. It's very important. I think over the years it has always been the same question over and over that has come from our customers. I think if you look at our industry and our products and services, we're probably the only industry in the country which has never increased prices. But so many factors change in our economy, but we never, instead we have always been decreasing prices. But so many things are changing. You know, the price of fuel has been going up. The cost of the product of production has been going up. Inflation has been going up. So many things have really been changing over the years. But we're probably the only service provider or industry that has continuously reduced prices. I think if you were to look at what we've done in the past 3 to 4 years, each and every year we've come to the market to say we've reduced prices either on data or on voice by a certain percentage. Even up to today, we continue to reduce the price of production of our products and services. Now, It obviously it is something that can only be done to a certain extent at any given point. We cannot have a huge decline in price over a short period of time. It is something that we've been doing and staggering over a period of time, and so that is why every year we continuously revise prices one way or the other. Now, what is important for me to say today is we've also now changed the model around pricing, because what we've realized is for the different services, products and services that we have at MTN, it is important for us to start looking at how do we make sure that the price is aligned to an individual customer. So it is not something that we want to now look at, from a broader perspective to say across the board we want to reduce prices, but we are now targeting on an individual basis. So number one, our customer lelisebenzisa i-data kakhulu. Then we, from our backend, from our systems, we are now able to offer you much better price for those services that you are using on your number. Again, if you're a customer that is using a voice a lot, using certain amount of minutes on a monthly basis, we're now able to offer you a much better proposition that is suit your needs as well. So we've got now, I think for the past few months, we've been rolling out these modular offers, star 101 hash. And so customers now have got a personalized pricing which is suiting what they are using on a daily basis. So njengoba nje nabo customer lessenza kakhulu i-data siya-offerisha ema prices that are suitable to you, so that you don't feel that you are paying a lot when it comes to data services. And so that is where we are today, and this is something that we've been discussing over a long period of time, because we've realized that for us to give a blanket price reduction, it does not help, because lama customer kwanza say noma wehlisile ku 1 GB tsinele siku 10 megahertz ku 10 megabits per second tsine sithola solo sibhadala kakhulu. So why don't we make it such that the customers that are using a certain band or a certain data bundle must pay something that they can afford for the time, and those that are using more, obviously we also align it to that particular package. So it is something that has been going for some time, and we believe we are at a stage now where we are able to now customize our pricing to suit our customers' needs. We will still obviously look at the broader pricing, I think, going forward. So I think at some point in the next few months, we will still come back to our customers to say we've now revised either our data prices, our voice prices, our mobile money transaction prices, etc., etc. That is something that we'll continuously be doing going forward. But I think our customers must look out for modular offers 101, because it is something that is made to suit them and to suit their needs when they use products and services from MTN.
So kukhona nje lo botile waba anonymous though, abudakwe ukuthi lo soqale ukukhuluma ngama-modular offers Wandile. So abudalwe ukuthi yini mina enagciniwe sihleti ndzawonye yeye kwakhe kunangena kwa-no1 kwakhe ngathi sekuthe catha kunconywana kunekwami. So usebenza njani lo moja ngiloko ukuthi ubuka mina ukuthi ngisebenzisa ini kakhulu ngoba ama customer get lost ukuthi akufaneleni yini Wandile kwakhe kungcono kunekwami.
Yeah, so le ndlela vele lesikuniketa ngayo le offer yakho sibuketa ukuthi wena usebenzisa ini i-product usebenzisa kanganani and uthenga kangaki, bese sibala lokho ke bese sicha shothi ngalo wena usebenzisa kakhulu i1 GB asikunikete i1 GB lengconywana, ngoba wena usebenzisa kakhulu 10 GB asikunikete i10 GB lengconywana. So le system yethu yakwathi bese yakwathi kubala ikunikete wena vele ngeke kufana nekwakho nekwalomnye umuntu, ngoba lomnye umuntu ukhanza ukuthi yena usebenzisa kakhulu i-voice, wena usebenzisa i-data, ngeke vele nifanane.
Yeah. Lama comments la buyako la ngene emakhaya maningi yathi uthi nathi usafunda lenye ngelele khona lothi yewandile sikuhlupha kuphi lesiswati but uyasikhuluma Siswati uyasikhuluma Siswati bo wena asumzama umlalele phela naku nje ngidambuto lo mbuto futhi ungesiswati utamva utaphendula ngesiswati uthi lo mbuto Wandile why nisithathelela ama minutes ethu singakawacethi ngoba phela sisuke sesinibhadele le mali yawo.
Yeah, ngicabanga ukuthi kumcoka ukuthi i-customer nalithenga i-voice bundle, lathi ukuthi le voice bundle ngifuna ukuyisebenzisa kuphi nini. So angibekise nje ukuthi nawe uthenga i-voice bundle yelanga linye, angithi uyithenga le voice bundle yelanga ngoba ubuke ukuthi wena ndawonye lama calls namhla ngacethe namuhla
Yeah.
ngeke thina sasa create lama products sasa create lama bundles siyesende lo sima customer akwadi ukuthi asute le need yabo so nabe ngithenga ama bundles evoice latawulasta inyanga ngithenge say 500 minutes latawulasta inyanga ngibasho lokuthi vele kulo 500 minutes ngiyakhona kumcetha lo 30 days le bundle leyo so vele thina siwa creator such that le customer likwadi ukuthi lithenga lokho likwadi kokulungisa kokubeka ngeke phela bese sithi uthenge ibundle ya 2 days bese seyilasa 30 days akusasiko kanjalo siwa creator because andiyole lokuthi abe ngile simo la design ukuthi abe ngiyo so we're really looking at creating enough packages, enough bundles which will suit each and every customer. So if you have a user on voice, you must then look at how many minutes do you need per month or per week or per day, and then only buy those that are relevant to you.
No, I think kulomzuzu sitawunathi manje no tiyangena tiyabuya Wandile sitawudlala iclip lemfisha just ukuthi sikhumbude amakhasimende ethu ukuthi ukhuluma ngani lo Moja offers, but if you're not aware of it, please reach out to us usibude. Moja offer is really good because njengoba asho umjali lokumcwano lokuthi ngitadi mina ukuthi mina nje ngisebenza kakhulu ivoice yangi sayisebenzisa ivoice Wandile ngishaya sterek so mina ngiyayidinga ivoice. But mangithenga ibundle wena ufuna idata so ukhanzisa le bundle ayingisithi mina le data angisebenzisi kanti ngifuna ivoice. Moja offers uyela lokho lokugciniwe wathola ivoice yakho uyithole ngenzenga le kahle ngoba uthanza lokho. So asibukele kancane the clip and we will be back to take more questions. Okay, siyabuya, siyanemukela, siyabonga ukuthi solo nichubekile nahlala nathi. Solo sihleti, we are chatting with Wandile. Sithatha ema questions from ema viewers ethu emakhaya. Lamanye angenile before lo hlelo. Solo nje siyanika lethuba ukuthi butani ngekuthanza kwenu ukuthi nifuna ukuthi aphendule ini Wandile. Kunembuto longenile from YZ Mkhulwane. Uthi YZ Wandile, Swaziland has a few developing online content creators like on YouTube, TikTok and Instagram. However, online financial services providers like PayPal, Paypeer, Buy Me Coffee, okay, I can't see it's far, do not work Eswatini. How does MTN as an internet service provider intend to help Swazi content creators to receive money that they make online?
Yes. A very important point, I think. Within our MTN fintech services, we have developed applications that would enable the Maswati to develop, to design and create applications that will then be used for purposes of purchasing as well as payment platforms. This is something that we've been doing for some time. The application interface has been designed such that each and every person that is capable of writing scripts and designing applications and designing solutions for payment, they can always approach us at MTN. We can then be able to give them access to these APIs or application integration platforms so that they can then be able to use that for payment. And we've done a lot of integrations across, today we've got businesses that are using mobile money applications for payment of their businesses. Today we've got gaming platforms where people pay for those gamings using the MTN API. So it is something that is readily available. We've also taken it a step further with MTN fintech services. We've actually partnered with RSTP, where we're incubating startups where people like the customer can approach them and they can help them to create applications, integrate with us, and they will help them to design and make sure that those applications are then rolled out into the market. A lot of solutions are out there in the market. Perhaps maybe Ngloguti Lamanya so advertise it because they're still starting up and they're still very small. But certainly, when it comes to payment platforms using our APIs, it is something that has been live for some time, and we continue to onboard a number of small startups, even big businesses that want to integrate and bring mobile money as a means of payment. Because the truth is, anyway, mobile money today is one of the highest payment platform in the kingdom. And so if you really want to derive value for your own business in terms of payment, please connect to MTN using the APIs, and that will enable you to unlock so much value around your payment for all the services. And so for us, it's not even an issue around integrating with PayPal, etc., because if you have these APIs, it will enable you also to connect to other international organizations as well. Remember, MTN across the African continent is capable of giving you access to a number of other solutions that are available out there.
No, truly, CEO, it is speaking to the platform business that we are going towards.
Yes.
So please do reach out. I would like to do a special shout out to Bonga Simelane. Uti Bonga, I feel like you are asking questions that suit you deliberately. Bonga, if you are still there, please write your question. I want to read your question specifically. Lelo vangathi ngiyayigeka. Ngibhalele shembonga, ngibhalele Simelane wami. Ngitawuvele ngifunze yona. See, on more the corporate social responsibility side, Kubute Petros Twala Mbabane Golf Club.
Okay.
Uti, my question is, why is MTN not looking after caddies? Because we are part of golfers and we're also part of MTN customers.
Yeah.
I noticed that MTN sponsors golf tournaments, but not even a cap or t-shirt or free data for caddies, maybe once a year. Ubutega shivagati golfer lobabelo. So that's the question.
I'm passionate about golf. I think the truth of the matter anyway is, as MTN, when we sponsor organizations, we approach, associations, approach organizations. We'd never approach individuals. So that is why even in golf, we sponsor through the Swatini Golf Union. We sponsor golf clubs such as Mbabane, Zulini Golf Club, and other entities, because we don't go and approach individuals or people that have not been put themselves into an association. So it is important for them that in the event they wanted to consider, for us as MTN to consider them for any sponsorship, it has to be through a formal organization. So my suggestion would have been for them to approach the Swatini Golf Union and perhaps see how they can get assistance from that. But we really do not go through individuals, because that's not where we are. We look at certain pillars which will enable us to make those sponsorships.
But before we and still on the sporting front, it's the last question on the sporting front. Tulas Melanie says we were excited to see my headlines relating to you and women football, because all we've seen for years is you sponsoring football for Bobabe.
Yes.
What should we then look forward to with regards to women football sponsorship?
Yeah, no, thanks, Tini. We had an interview with SuperSport with regards to the Premier League sponsorship that we have, and so that is where the message came from. I think part of the questions that were asked during the interview was what we as MTN are doing or intend to do with regards to women in football. And so I think, like I said to them, it is really a very good suggestion. I think it's something that we, and again, all other organizations in the country, we need to start taking women football and women in sport in general seriously. But I think, again, it goes back to my previous comment, anyway, that I think the associations must then take up that responsibility, and so that they can then approach companies such as MTN or any other company, so that when they come to us, then there are certain things that we then have to look at before we can then confirm any sponsorship. So it's definitely a really very great idea. It just need to put into a proper strategy and a structure, so that then it can then become something that will then be live going forward. So we're looking forward. I think the Premier League perhaps is something that they will be considering then going to the future.
Okay. No, bonga so palile si olombuto ngoba solo bangifuna lo bonga Simelane and lo bonga ufana nalo munye longenile via our WhatsApp. Uthi bonga why did you only begin to heavily revise your pricing after you received competition from other ISPs? Sibonga, we asked.
Yeah.
Over to you, Wandile.
No, thank you. It's not something that I believe could be accurate. I think if you look at, even at the time when MTN was the only telecom service provider in the kingdom, prices for services were always going down. However, I think the quantum and how much it was going down definitely was different than the time when competition came through. But certainly if you look at, I'm sure if you recall, in the early 2000s, when a starter pack was still 280 malanga and it came down, I think by the time competition came, a starter pack for MTN was probably something around 10 malanga. So the prices of products and services were definitely going down. It is just that it was not going down at the rate which our customers were expecting it to go down that time. However, I think we must say that competition is good for the country. I think certainly it unlocked a lot of potential around enabling customers to be able to have choice on products and services. So today, customers can decide whether they use MTN or they use competition for whatever their needs are. And again, issues of price definitely becomes a very key determining factor around how customers then come in and use your products and services. And like I said earlier on, this is something that has been a journey over a period of time. Prices is definitely something that we've been looking at, and we continue to look at pricing, and we continue to revise pricing downwards as per the needs. And again, we look at things around the cost of us providing that particular service. And sometimes some of these do not really depend on what we can do. It is all dependent on some third-party solutions. So we need to, when you look at the price of production, we also need to consider all of that, and then we are then able to say we can now start offering better prices for our customers. But certainly it is something that is a very, very a high agenda for our customers, and it is something that we continuously revise going forward.
Sure. No, siyabonga Wandile. Uthi Lilinkosi, let me take there Lilinkosi, and then we just take a short break again. Uthi Lilinkosi, why am I no longer able to access the Momo loans? Yathi ngike ngithi ngengihluphekile kepha kube bhedela usito, and that really disappoints me.
It's very unfortunate if a customer will not access Momo loans. I think maybe your team can try and see if they can reach out and get their number. I'm sure it's something that you can address. I know other customers that ukanza uteam over a longer period of time, because this service is suspended because obviously if a service has not been used for more than 3 months, we then suspend it. So during the period where the customer is not able to use it. But definitely let us try and get the number for Lily and make sure that our front-end staff can then address it quickly. But it is not something that we do intentionally. It is just because certain customers don't use products and services for a longer period of time. There's all kinds of 7 days here. But Momo loans have really been growing over the past few months. I think we've extended the limit from 300. I think today we're sitting at 600 Malanga each time you go into the Momo loan and borrow. And even the payment terms are also quite flexible. So it enables my customer to say, nabe nje ngitsingelo 600 ngimboleke namhlanje naw khona kumbhadala kabili kathathu ukuze uthi aphele. And so we really encourage our customers to get into Momo loans if they are in need of money today.
Sure. No, Lily, please, I think we're willing to reach out to you, Stawupalela, directly, because it really could be a dormant account. And so, Lily, with your ID, to cell form, and then you send to our WhatsApp line, and just like that, your account is activated again if it is dormant. But let's get closer to you, Lily, Kuluma now, and try and assist you, because Ivele loans as at this point, maybe let's just take a short clip. We will just play a short clip talking to our home proposition, and then we'll take the last batch of questions. Yes. Wandile. Thank you. Thank you once again for joining us and staying with us as Solo Sihleti Sikhuluma na Wandile. just trying to understand nakubeka tikhalo tethu Wandile, because kulentinye tikhathi asihlangana nawe la mkhwacweni kukutshela ukuthi maye niyasihlupha or maye nisiphethe kahle. But maybe before we continue, let's just start on a positive one. Sibonge Bongiwe, uthi Bongiwe, a shout out to Sebenele. I'm not sure about her surname, but her customer service is amazing. No, siyabonga Bongiwe kakhulu. Maybe just to speak briefly, Wandile, to the customer culture yala khaya. Now, bugana le brand repositioning, iphinze buyise les customer to be center. What would your comment be to what Bongiwe is saying? Is it a miracle that kune customer service
No,
lens?
siyabonga Bongiwe kule comment. I think definitely we're going to pass on this message to our frontline staff. I believe the quality of the service that we offer to our customers in our contact center, in our service centers, in all our shops has really improved over the past. And I think this is purely because from the leadership of the organization, the customer is now at the center of our conversation. The customer is now very key. Customer experience is very, very key to what we do on a daily basis. And so that is why we've now created the culture within our frontline staff, in the contact center, in our service centers, in our shops, that the customer must be treated well and the customer must be treated fairly. So this is something that we've continued to instill in our staff. And really, I'm really happy to hear such comments. And what we do, I think, anyway, on a daily basis, we gather this information through our frontline staff. When customers walk into a service center, for example, by what we get a feedback, we say a service through the CLF function it. The customer nakashayile a call center batfola lusito bayakwathi ukuthi futhi phindze futhi basinigete ba rate ukuthi lelo sito lebatfolile lunjani. Kumqoka kithi lokho, because then we can then go back to our staff and continue to empower them and continue to give them knowledge wherever they are lacking, because I strongly believe that as soon as we empower our front-end staff, then they're able to then deal with the challenges that our customers face, and they're able to resolve some of these issues first time and make sure that our customers are kept happy. So really what the customer is talking about today, it is testament to what we've been doing around investing in our frontline staff and making sure that we capacitate them so that they can deal with the challenges of the day.
Sure. Siyabonga Wandile, and thank you for that feedback. Even if it's negative, please feel free to say, because that's how we improve and we learn. Sydney Mabuza is saying, Momo loans do not help me. I'm unable to access the loans. The point system is disadvantaging. So yeah, vele ikhona le point system to qualify Wandile. So maybe uthi Sydney ngathi Iyakapa, he can't even qualify. What would your comment be? But Sydney, we will take your contacts as well, and possibly just call you and speak to you specifically to understand what can you do to even qualify. But over to you, Wandile, if you want to comment on that.
Sydney, maybe like you are right, let us try and reach out to him and see However, I think obviously the point system is there. It looks at a number of areas. I think it looks at how much you recharge your mobile money account. So that is very, very important. It looks at how much you use your mobile money account on a monthly basis. In terms of doing transactions, either in cashing in or cashing out, it's very important for you to continue to do that. So le mali lo isebenzisa mobile money if not inyuke nabe ufuna sinala loans akhanyuke, because remember phela le loan lo etfolako sifunika sathi nathi kule system yethu ukuthi utakhona ukuyibhadalela, ukuze ukuthi sibone sathi ukuthi utakhona ukuyibhadalela, ukuthi siyabona ukuthi uyakwathi kuloada i-account yakho continuously over a period of time, and again siyathi ukuthi nawe isebenzisele le mali uyaphinza futhi ubhadala. So kumqoka lokuthi ama customer akujwayele lokuthi amsebenzise mobile money and itawunyuka le account system yabo labayithola kumomo loans.
Kuyevakala Sydney, sithi ukuthinta Sydney siyacela ukuthi usinike inombolo takho sitokhona kuhlalele dude nawe Sydney. These loans have really helped. Ayapesha nje tikhala ngoba hey nabakithi kukhuphuka yonke info even. Umbuto lo landzelako CEO ukhulumisa indzaba partnership ya MTN with kusita hulumende ngokuthi alethe ama services kubantu. So lo mbuto uthi I'd like to pay my vehicle license disc. Gepa, what is the code or the USSD ukuze ukuthi ngi-access ama services ahulumende?
I think before I talked about the code, I think first of all, I think we as MTN, we really want to appreciate the government of Eswatini for trusting us as MTN and partnering with us so that we can then also enable Emaswati to have the digital services that are offered by government. I think the e-government agenda and strategy has really been growing over the years, and purely because I think the government of the kingdom have now seen it important that the good disseminator EMA services, it's easier when it is done through the digital platforms. Ngoba emakhasi nyalo uthi ngosohlala nje ekhaya ukwazi ukuthi uaccess lawo ma services hulumende lawa offerishayo. Namhlanje ama customer akwazi ukuthi abhadalele nje baasho le customer abhadalele imthelo wemoto, uyakwazi ukuthi ubhadalele imthelo webusiness, uyakwazi ukuthi namhla ubhadalele ema services lo wathi ngako even Ministry of Commerce. Into leto lesikhonile ukudenda kulesikhathi lesincane lesisebenzela uhulumende through the e-government platform. And again, lama services asaqhubeka. We're now working towards customers being able to pay for kubhadalela ema passport, kubhadalela ema ID, kubhadalela ema some of the civil registration lesiyeswende njengemaswati. Lokho kwendela ukuthi ungahambi yoqueisha revenue langa lonke, umele nje ukuthi ubhadalela kwezothi uthole lusido. Sendelwa sima customer asebenzise le product akwazi ukuthi abhadale ngama money ahlele ekhaya bese uyahamba nje wena sokuthatha lewo lokuthingako ukwadi kuyena ekhaya. So the system lena yokubhadalela imithelo yemoto has been working now for some months, and we've seen significant growth around this area. And I think again we can speak to what government has actually achieved around making sure that there's efficiencies that have been brought in through us providing this service. I think the short code, I'm sure you know it, star 468#, that is the code that customers can access the government services, not only for paying off the licenses, but also for paying for some of the Ministry of Commerce services as well.
Yeah. No. Mkhulu lo msebenzi lo wendeka ko with government and umsebenzi lo muhle kakhulu ngoba vele I think even uhulumende wethu usho kona ukuthi as digitize bakangwane sale vele sichubeka ngoba imilo isikhomba khona ukuthi embili toti besenda njani khathi kuna covid ihlete emakhaya safunza ukuthi ungakwenda konke la cingweni lapho safunza bekubhlungwana kona but lo lichinjo seliqalile asivele sichubeke sibheke embili ngalolo hlobo. Questions continue to come in one delay, and I think la khona la mane ngakhulumisa mobile money. Can I have two mobile money accounts with different numbers? Banfa bami, can I have accounts for them one delay? I think mobile money so thuthukile and lo mbuto lo khona I cannot read it gama la customer. It's a very interesting one. Ngola nje GP. It's quite an interesting name. Okay, GP.
I think the for us to expand the mobile money accounts, this is something that we've already done. So it just requires the customer to provide the necessary documentation, and then they can then have that second number as their mobile money account. It is now possible. You can also provide a mobile money account for your children as well. So if you've got children that are under the age of 18, you can then align that number and to your own number, and then you can have multiple accounts as well there. So that is something that we are now doing. Yes.
So la bati mobile money value abasebenzela. Get an account for your children, get a second account. It's really a good way to even transfer money in your family,
of course,
and to also do that on the platform. I think we're running out of time. There's a lot of questions, but it also seems okay kubuta nangwa pepile mkonda. Pepile ngiyambona une leadership la kuye Wandile ngoba uthi Wandile, where do you see MTN in the next 5 years?
Yes. I think we've spoken about the ambition 2025 and where we are now as part of our strategy, where we're seeing MTN as an organization into the next 5 years. Certainly, we are obviously transitioning from a telco company into a technology company, and this speaks to a number of areas. If I make an example of our financial services, our MTN fintech services, it has always been an entity that has been working within the MTN GSM business as one unit. We're now transitioning such that we're now going to have a separate company, MTN Fintech Services, that purely runs mobile money and other fintech platforms separate from the normal GSM platform. Again, here this is the future, because we have seen that there's so much value, there's so much that we can derive out of the fintech business, and that is can then be completely separated from the normal GSM business. We can also look at other avenues such as expansion around development of applications. There's Chinosis, a solution that we're now piloting within MTN and expanding on, that will enable those developers, such as the customer that spoke earlier on, around them being able to use APIs to develop solutions, to develop applications. That is where we're going to. We're also looking at other infrastructure developments, such as fiber, as well as other connectivity business. So that is where we are seeing ourselves venturing into, and just moving purely and separating certain entities so that those entities can then be able to create a value in the Kingdom of Eswatini and also across the African continent as well. So there's really going to be a lot of changes around the way that we do business within MTN, and also trying to diversify and look at other opportunities that ordinarily we would not have been doing over the past few years.
No, I think kuyakhanya phephile Mkhonto that clearly we are led. Kukhona la siyakhona, and MTN Eswatini is here to stay and play an important part in making sure ukuthi eMaswatini timpilo tawo tiyathuthuka. Maybe before we say goodbye, singadlala clip Wandile that speaks to the Sisonke initiative. We will then come back and talk briefly about what MTN is doing under the Sisonke campaign.
Hello, good customers. Did you know that we are always communicating at times without even noticing through body language? We know the importance of communication and understanding one another,
which is why it gives me great pleasure to announce that our quest to deliver a bold new digital world for everyone, we've launched the Sisonke initiative. Under this initiative, we'll ensure that all our communication includes sign language. Plus, we've introduced MTN Sisonke bundles, made especially to keep our different able customers connected. These bundles give you data and SMSs and can be purchased by dialing *525#. That's right, even our service center consultants are ready to assist our speech impaired and deaf customers. Plus, our line 7606-1954 is live now, so they can video call whenever they have inquiries, and sign language competent consultants are ready to assist. Please pass this information on.
we love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for staying with us. We are towards the end of the show, unfortunately. How I wish we could just keep talking to you, Wandile. But the clip you just saw, ikhulumisa our Sisonke initiative and campaign. Could you just speak briefly to it, Wandile? What does it mean to MTN, and what is the passion behind it?
Yes, thank you, Kiniwe. I think the Sisonke initiative is very important for us at MTN because it brings in the whole question around inclusion and diversity. What we are saying as MTN is, and I know over the past many years, we've really been focusing on a certain segment of our customers that are able. But I think it is also likewise important for us to also recognize that within the Kingdom of Eswatini, we've got different type of customers. We've got only customers that are differently able. We've got disabled customers that also need our products and services. And so when we started on the Sisonke initiative, it was to bring in the deaf customers on board, so that the customer enjoy mass products and services. And it also enabled us to do two things. I think the first one was for us to be able to service that particular customer. So now comes the customer lelingakhulumi lifika esitolo saka MTN kufuthi silikwathi silithathola lusito lelo customer customer lelingakhulumi lifuthi sikwathi ukuthi ngabe ngifuna lusito e-call center ngidalithola kanjani. So le customer lelo lifuthi sikwathi ukuthi ngidawushaya inombolo letsite kube khona lo mbonako sikwathi ukuthi sisebenzisa i-sign language sithole lusito. So that is something that we've said as leadership, that it is very, very important for us to focus on that segment of our customers. And we've done it successfully. I think we've launched this initiative even in partnering with the Deputy Prime Minister's office to make sure that it is welcomed, and also within the deaf community, and they've actually welcomed our initiative. And I think if you look at the number of services that we've provided to our customers, it is really something that has been really taken on board. Kumqoka kakhulu ukuthi siphinde futhi sibukete ukuthi nasisuka la sesisathi ukuthi labo labangakhulumi sebathola usizo, labangaboni ke bona sitawenda njani. And that is the next step that we're working on today, to make sure that they also get enjoy the services, because they also are part of the community ekangwane. Nabo badzinga ukusebenzisa licingo, nabo badzinga ukusebenzisa mobile money, and so on and so forth. And nabo nabanetinkinga badzinga ukuthi bakhona ukuthola usizo ka MTN. And that is what we have been doing over the time. And I think we've done a lot around making sure that we diversify in terms of making sure that all the segments of our community are assisted. And I think maybe just to enable also to expand as well on that is the inclusion and diversity does not only deal with issues around disabled persons, but it also deals with issues around women and children and so on. And so that a whole agenda around us making sure that we focus on the vulnerable people of our society is very, very important.
And we commend you for that, Mjali. So usho ukuthi nje Wandile mangiphuma nyalo ngimbabane service center, I can find an agent that can help me using sign language.
Yes. So we've actually trained agents in all our shops. And so if today you are a deaf customer and you walk into our service centers, you are rest assured that you will find someone that will use sign language and communicate with you, and you'll be able to get the necessary assistance. Yeah. And also our communication decision as a company going forward is that in each and every communication, in each and every time where we have events such as this, where we're communicating and engaging our customers, we make sure that we've got someone that is working with us to do sign language. And that is why you've got the gentleman behind us to make sure that
yes.
to do the sign language. And Sombonga is doing that. Yeah. And that is something that we've been doing now going forward as MTN.
And that is great, because even if you go to the reception, there's someone now that Matlalo Kukuni house, Loati sign language. We also have a calling line. Now Shaila WhatsApp 7606-1954. Utothola umuntu lotokusita nge-sign language. Yes. So seveli hambile le ngoto excellent thina Mjali. And I think we're going to be the next group to learn sign language. Yes. But maybe at this point, Wandile, we are running out of time. So maybe I can give you an opportunity to ubonge nje kulaba labahleti nathi nalabasijoinile.
I think on behalf of MTN, I think we want to just appreciate all our customers who have over the years continued to be our customers. They've been using our products and services over the years, and they've enjoyed MTN. And our promise, I think, definitely does not change, that we want to continue to provide the best service, the best customer experience for all our customers. All our customers are treated equally, and they're equally important for us because they give us a business that we are in today. So we really want to say thank you to our customers. Again, our lines are always open. The contact center 922, our service centers, our shops are always open where customers can approach us with their various needs, and then we're able to address them. We've got different types of customers, ranging from an individual small customer, a child, and a young person, up to corporates and big organizations who are all enjoying MTN products and services. Again, we just want to appreciate all of them. They've really truly been with us all this way, and that is why we are able to still be able to provide the services that we are doing today. And so all we are saying to our customers is continue to support MTN, continue to use our products and services, and we shall continue to make sure that we delight them going forward. So thank you so much for your time, and thanks for the customers that have connected online today, and we believe that we've tried to address their questions. And again, if there are questions that have not been answered today, I'm sure the team will continue to address and answer those questions online as well.
No, thank you, Wandile. Namangtibongele that I got this opportunity to sit with Wandile for a whole hour.
Yes.
So siyabonga Wandile, thank you for availing yourself
Yes.
and making the time. And to our viewers, Ekaya, wherever you were joining us from, either YouTube or Facebook, thank you for joining us. Siyabonga nakumbongwa lo sitolegelago. Thank you to the technical team that makes sure that everything runs seamlessly. But the commitment and promise, Jongoba Sashito Wandile, is we will continue doing on your behalf. I think the marching orders we were given is that as an MTNer, doing never stops.
Yep,
So we are
never
doers
stops.
by nature, and our intention is to make sure that even as we do, we make sure that we affect and impact your life. Sitoqhubeka sing MTN sithembe ukuthi nani into ohlala nathi. So please reach out to us. Wandile has mentioned ukuthi the contact center is available, our WhatsApp line and *922. So stay in touch with us because we like to hear from you. And no comment is said to be unwanted. So I think nabonga ubonile ukuthi konke sidakukhulumisa bonga lokho sigongonya kunaloko ungasigongonyi ngoba it's when we talk to all issues that we can advance as a business. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your long weekend if you're in the kingdom, and if you are not, please watch with envy as we enjoy our long weekend. But maybe let's bye-bye in
Okay.
Okay, Stoti. Thank you.
Thank you.
And bye-bye. Thank you.